I had been happily married for 5 years, and my wife and I had a 5-year-old son. We were the perfect family, and I never even thought of the possibility that she had cheated. But then I got a wild hair of doubt and decided to do a DNA test on our son. The results shocked me. I was not the biological father of our son. I confronted my wife with the results, and she broke down in tears. She admitted that she had had a tryst several months before our son was born. I was furious and hurt, but I also felt a profound sadness. How could my wife have betrayed me like this? I felt like I didn't know her anymore. Anyone have any tips or advice on this? Do I stay? Do I leave? I've raised my son for 5 years, and I know it's not his fault, but when I look at him, all I see is not me, and it makes my blood boil. Please, any advice would be great. I'm losing my mind over this. If you've discovered deception in your marriage, you must consider divorce. It's crucial to prioritize your own well-being and happiness. Consult with a family law attorney to understand the legal aspects. Seek therapy for emotional support and clarity. A divorce is the best path forward for your future happiness and emotional health. Here's a more concise approach to handling it. 1. Consult with an attorney. Your first step is to consult with a family law attorney specializing in paternity and custody matters. They will provide tailored legal guidance, explaining the process for establishing or disestablishing paternity based on your specific jurisdiction. 2. Legal considerations. Your attorney will help you understand the laws related to paternity and child custody in your area. Depending on your goals, you may need to disestablish paternity and address custody and support matters. Your attorney will guide you through these processes. 3. Communication and emotional support. Maintain open, respectful communication with your partner throughout this process, acknowledging the emotional strain it may place on both of you. Seek emotional support, including therapy or counseling, to navigate the challenging emotions associated with this situation. 4. Protect the child's best interests. Always prioritize the child's well-being. Work closely with your attorney to make decisions that ensure the child's stability and emotional health, while pursuing legal resolutions that align with your goals. Be prepared for a potentially complex legal journey, but remain focused on the child's welfare as you move forward. You have to leave. Tell your family and her family why. Talk to a lawyer, get everything organized as they tell you to. Start therapy, and you'll have to decide what to do about the kid. You'll be liable for child support. Paternity fraud is a heinous crime that women aren't punished for, but everyone should know what she did. Leave. If she's sick enough to make you raise another man's heavens knows what else she could do. Divorce her, seek therapy, and then decide if you can still be in son's life. Remember, it's not his fault. His mom, HOE, he just knows you as his daddy. 100%. Divorce her. Your marriage already over when she cheat and let you raise someone else's kid. Agreed. It takes a messed up person to cheat, get pregnant, then let someone else that believes the child is theirs raise that kid. It blows my mind that so many people out there are like this. I don't know how you could be so blindsided but had enough suspicion to DNA test your son, unless you're both natural blonde hair, blue eyes, and kid is brown hair, brown eyes. There clearly was something that you knew was wrong. Now you need to decide what you want to do. You can recover from this if you both want to out the work in, but you don't have to. Also, if you don't want to or don't think you can get over it. Talk to a lawyer right away. Avoid talking to her until you do. Just say you need time and space for a while. Find out your options and decide from there. Keep in mind that she didn't confess anything to you and she only admitted what you already know. She was just fine lying to you all these years and was obviously good at it, so consider anything she tells you from that perspective. You can prove she was with someone else at least once, so that's what she's admitting to. It's like a good driver with only one speeding ticket. It doesn't mean you don't speed it, just means you've only been caught once. It's disturbing that she cheated, but equally disturbing how good she was at lying about it. For me, that would be the tipping point towards leaving. The biggest issue is, will you be financially responsible for the child that isn't yours? Lawyer up OP. Get your money, pack your crap, and get out. Forget the kid. He's not your responsibility. Find a girl who isn't a cheater and have a kid that's yours. Don't listen to people who tell you to raise a kid that's not yours. No. Your life is important too. Unless you really want to, but I have to tell you, she doesn't respect you. And it's prob not the only time she's cheated. Move on. Long post. Sorry, but I have to get this out. In 2017, my wife, 36F, and I, 35M, had hit a rut. I was working multiple jobs to support us, as she had been laid off from her job for a couple years, and we have a house, multiple vehicles, etc. She was always so vocal if something bothered her that I thought she would never cheat on me, but now I know that's not true. This year, on July 1st, she went to use the bathroom, leaving her phone on the dining room table. While she was up there, her phone lit up with a Snapchat notification for someone with a guy's name, so I became a bit suspicious. She had recently accused me of cheating, went through my phone, and even accused me of using meds to the point that she bought an at-home meds test and made me take it. I never once even thought of cheating on her in our 13 years together, and I passed the meds test no problem. Taking all of these things into consideration, along with some recent behavioral changes I had noticed, I look at her phone and open the notification. What I found was that she had been having an emotional affair with at least 2 or 3 guys on Snap and had shared multiple videos, pictures, long RP texting about what they would do to each other, etc. At this point, I was fuming and a bit mentally broken, so I swiped off the app and put down the phone. I waited 30 minutes until she had put our daughter to bed to text her and tell her that I wish I hadn't seen what I did, but that we needed to talk. She came down and we had a long conversation until about 1 in the morning. She said the people online made her feel pretty, and that her and I had been very distant from each other for a long time, which isn't something I felt during the last 5 years, but seeing as I was concerned primarily with working to support us, and also had a band playing music with a guy that she did not like. I guess I can sort of see her point. She didn't have any job to go to, and I was hardly ever around until late at night. She brought up the fact that I would always go to band practice for a couple hours while I was off. I played phone games too much when we were together, and all of this left her feeling neglected. But she did make a point to mention that she never physically cheated on me. She never touched anyone, only online sharing, and that it was more so fluff to get her in the mood to have sex with me in the rare occasion that we had time to do so. The next morning, I went to work. She told me afterwards that she had deleted every conversation on Snapchat and that she was trying to remove her public profile status and deleted all the APs she had contact with. A couple weeks later, she told me in the first 3 years of our relationship that she had a makeout session and heavy petting session with some girl we met at a party when they were both really drunk. Then she went to the beach with our daughter, 7F, and my mother-in-law for a week. At this point, I paid someone to muddle through into her Line account so I could go through all the evidence and decide for myself what really happened. I then went through her Dropbox account, Gmail, FB Messenger, Craigslist, and every account I knew she had, and saved as much evidence as I could for what I thought would be the inevitable divorce court I would likely be going to in the near future. It turns out she had left Line a couple years ago and moved primarily to Snapchat, but the evidence I found in Line had me contemplating self-destruction for about 4 days until I finally told myself that enough was enough. She came home from the beach happy to see I hadn't moved out, but also very upset, and told me that she now felt that she needed to prove herself to me, that she would be faithful. Over the next few weeks, she went through and deleted everything in all of those accounts while I wasn't home, sending me screenshots of when she did so. Every time she would do this, she would be extremely upset and call me crying, saying things like, "I'm so disgusted with myself," and "I don't know why you still love me," and "If I were you, I would have ended myself after finding all the pics and videos." We talked every night until late into the night after every deleting session she had during the day. During these conversations, she said that our relationship had felt at first like I was using her for her money. She had the better job for the first 3 years. Then she said once that wasn't the case a few years later, that she felt neglected and eventually gave in to her weakness and started seeking out online partners. After 4 years of that, she didn't want to do it anymore, but she said she couldn't stop for some reason, even though I was now working only one job and had quit my band because the singer ended up sexually mistreating someone, so we had a lot more time together. After those conversations, I realized that I was a flawed person. My stepmother, who basically raised me, and a few really close friends had passed away during the previous 2 years, and I was so busy trying to disassociate from the grief with work, games, and hobbies that I had been mostly oblivious to everything the entire time. So I told her that I forgive her for the things she did, even if I still get triggered by certain things all the time. I decided at this point that I would become a man so worthy of her loyalty that she would never even entertain the thought of doing that again. To this, she said she would remain faithful from this point forward. Now we arrive in the present. I'm sitting on the porch chain, puffing up and ruminating on things while she sleeps upstairs. Where do I go from here? It seems like every conversation we have leads to this place where she is crying and saying she hates herself for what she did and that she doesn't deserve me. I am at a loss. I feel broken inside, but I can't leave her as we have a daughter, and a lot of tangled assets that would make a divorce really messy. I also don't want to leave her because I do feel she really loves me and that she is making a genuine effort to change. She stayed with me for 13 years, and during that time, she made me a better person in ways I don't even fully understand, even if she had betrayed my trust. I'm truly sorry to hear about the difficult situation you're facing in your marriage. It's clear that you've been through a lot together, and your wife's actions have had a profound impact on both of you. Here are some suggestions on how to proceed. 1. Seek professional help. Consider marriage counseling or therapy for both of you. A trained therapist can help you navigate complex emotions, facilitate open communication, and assist in rebuilding trust. Focus on communication. Prioritize honest and open communication. Encourage your wife to express her feelings and concerns, and share your own as well. This can help both of you better understand each other's perspectives. 2. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries within your relationship to prevent future breaches of trust. Discuss what is acceptable and what is not, and ensure both of you are committed to these boundaries. 3. Take time for self-reflection. Both of you should engage in self-reflection and personal growth. Understanding your own needs and addressing any issues that may have contributed to your marriage problems is essential. 4. Seek support. Reach out to friends or family members who can provide emotional support during this challenging time. Consider joining a support group or seeking individual therapy to help you process your emotions. Remember that healing from betrayal and rebuilding a relationship takes time and effort from both partners. It may be a challenging journey, but with the right support and commitment, it's possible to work through these issues. Ultimately, the path forward should prioritize what is best for both you and your wife, while considering the well-being of your daughter as a top priority. If she is really regretful, she also has a war going inside her head, as do you, just for different reasons. Yours are obvious, and hers are she hates who she became as a person and is disgusted with herself. Now the hard part is making sure her feelings are genuine, and it's not just an act. Only time and her actions will show you this. It sounds from what you describe, she is regretful, and you know you are progressing and are when you are supporting each other. If she isn't in therapy, she needs to see about some, if it's possible. Thank you for your response, and we have indeed been talking about those wars for weeks now, and she seems pretty genuine about it. The wayward needs healing too, but they should find self-motivation to do so. It isn't fair to put such burden on the BP, who's already struggling with healing themselves. However, it isn't surprising. Low self-esteem is a common trait in waywards. The poor self-understanding mean the WP unlikely has the tools to heal, feeling crappy, worthless. We have to overcome that in order to make ours successful. No BP would want to be dragged down by misery. Self-sabotage is another typical trait. As frustrating as it is for the BP, these are real. These are hurdles for the wayward self, in addition to trying to reconciliation and help you heal. It isn't fair to you. It is possible for the WP to overcome all this. Self-learning, reading, individual therapy, doing the right behaviors, CBT therapy, or in extreme depression cases, some medicines just to help getting out of the hole. Courage, I wish you the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate the conciseness of your response. Worldwide comments of the day. Story 1, first off, it wasn't a mistake. You made the choice to sleep with a married man for 3 years. Second, don't act you have any integrity from. You only want to tell his wife is because he didn't pick you and you want revenge. You're doing the right thing, but for petty reasons. But the wife still deserves to know. Don't get it twisted. Number 2, pathetic. From day 1, she cheats and he immediately begs for counseling. Then he expects loyalty and respect from his spouse. What a weak fool. He was lucky she left his assets. He won't be so lucky again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.